I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the former champion of the world and the Sky Sports pundit and commentator Mark Webster. Thanks for the time, Mark. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Enjoying the weather. It's nice. So yeah, no, I'm in a good place. All right, yeah.
Good man. Well, I won't keep you too long. You can enjoy the sunshine. Let's start with the Premier League. The season concluding last week, and for the first time we've got a Welsh winner, Jonny Clayton, lifting the title on debut. A 101 average for finals night, 58% on the doubles. How impressed were you with his performances coming away from Milton Keynes?
Yeah, I was impressed in the whole campaign. Even in defeat when he lost, he never let it materialise into a bad run, and I know how that can happen in the Premier League. But he was ready for the Premier League, and he said at the beginning it might be his only chance. Well, it's not now, is it? He's back next year already, and he's a champion, and he deserves it. He's a great player, great attitude, and someone that I think the fans really take to. And if they ever get a chance to meet him, just realise what a good guy he is, and he deserves everything he's getting at the minute. And I think there's more to come. Yeah,
definitely agree with that. We had him on the show a month or so ago, and he's a really down-to-earth guy, and a lot of people are pinpointing that World Cup success that he had with Going Price last November as being the catalyst for what he's gone on to achieve over the last 6 months. Firstly, how many times does Jonny send you a picture of his World Cup gold medal?
Well, I don't know, I'm locked in that. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, he actually mentioned it on a podcast I did with him earlier on, and he was... I made the point, he said he's got his gold medal, but I made a point, I've got 2 silvers, so 2 silvers make a gold, so we're level there. But, winning that World Cup, I said it could lead on to bigger things, the taste of glory, and it has. He's got the Masters, he's got the Premier League, he's won 3 floor tournaments this year. You could argue he's been the best player this year. He has been the best player this year, and he's just gone from strength to strength, and the interesting to see what he can do at the Matchplay now. Never won a game there, but wow, he's going there as confident as he ever be. I don't see that one continuing.
And it is a golden period for Welsh darts right now. We had Going Price winning those 2 Grand Slams. We had over in the BDO, Jim Williams, Wayne Warren winning big titles. Going Price last year, of course, and going into this year, winning the World Championship, becoming world number 1. And now Jonny Clayton, what he's been able to do. It's difficult to probably gauge the uptake of new players because we've not got many local leagues and events going on. But have you noticed the interest in following darts pick up in Wales?
Welsh darts always had a big following. It's... when I was starting out, there was always somewhere to go and play. I mean, I may have to travel down south, but it was always a tournament, and it was always well attended, and it's always had that interest. And not every player has gone on to achieve big things, but what Gerwyn Price and Jonny Clayton have done now, we'll get players playing and thinking, well, let's go to Q School. But they were in Q School in respective years, and Gezi in 2014, and Jonny in 2015. In the big scale of things, that's not a long time, is it? We've got one of them's the world number 1, one of them's the Premier League champion, and obviously Gezi's the world champion. So be patient with it, and that's what you can achieve. It's not a massive amount of time for what they've done. The tour's there for you. The PDCs have done well over this year, but it's a fantastic opportunity. It shows you, if you're good enough, what you can win, and they're going to inspire players, not just in Wales, but across the world, to pick up a set of darts and dedicate themselves a bit more.
Just touching on some of those other Welsh players a little bit lower down in the rankings, we've got Nick Kenny pushing towards the top 64. He's in his 2nd year now. John Worsley won back his tour card this year. One player I've got to talk to you about, though, is Louis Williams, 19 years old on the tour. This is his 1st year now as well. Talk to me about some of them other players that we're seeing on the tour from Wales now.
Yeah, kid Louis made a good start. I mean, he's a young lad, so he's still got a lot to learn, but steady progress. And I think for him at the minute, it's just about retaining his tour card after the 2 years, and then you make the next step. Like you said, Nick Kenny got in the Worlds in his 1st year, headed to the top 64, and if he can make the Worlds this year, he'll keep his tour card. That's job done. I think that's what Louis needs to do, and Jonathan Worsley just needs to get that breakaway through onto the telly. He's never made a TV major when he's been on the big stage. He needs to do that, get a taste for it, and then you see if he can reach the next level. But yeah, it's great. Welsh darts flourishing, and it's probably down to the impact of Gerwyn Price and Jonny Clayton. Wayne Warren as well lifted a title. So yeah, they're all contributing factors that can only bode well for Welsh darts.
Well, let's get on to you then. And we last had you on the show, had a look back May 2017, a few days later, ahead of the PDC World Cup. You and Gerwyn Price, you beat Raymond van Barneveld in the 2nd singles of the final. You go 5-0, your own record for that weekend, and 1-1 in the final. You lose out 3-1 in the final. What memories stand out from your run to a 2nd PDC World Cup final?
Yeah, it was just, I was well edgy in the first 2 games. I don't think I played well, but then once we got to the final day, I sort of relaxed, and you kind of knew at the time, I thought getting to the final I'd like to win it, because I knew that the rankings was getting close and I was going to slip out of the team. So to get to the final, I'd like to have won it, but on my last attempt to get to a final, I thought I played well and was good. It was a long time ago, obviously. playing darts at the minute, so you sort of clutch those memories. But no, it was fantastic, and you know, and I'm glad that Wales have gone on won the World Cup since, and I'd like to have done it as a player myself, but I did pretty much everything else in the World Cup but win it, so I look back on my time playing for Wales as only good memories.
Well, that was your second year teaming up with Going for Wales, and that final coming not long after we'd seen him reach the UK Open final, being up close with him that weekend for the World Cup final run. Could you tell then that he had a very bright future in the game?
Yeah, you just knew he was so confident. He just sort of rubbed off on me for that weekend, and it was like there was no selection headaches, because he just, even though he's a high ranked player, he's leaving it all to me, and he goes, I go, what do you want to do? And he just goes, leave me where I am. He was confident he was going to go on and win, and he said, you'll win the second game, and we did that. We did it in every game, but the final, we absolutely breezed the final. We survived the scare in the first round. From there, we were pretty much unstoppable, and his confidence rubbed off on me, and he's just a confident player. Jonny will reflect on it as well. Confidence is half the battle, and going from strength to strength, and we're looking forward to seeing him back playing. He's not played a lot this year, lucky COVID test, and not a lot of events going on, so as soon as we see him on that big stage playing again, the better. But fantastic for him, world champion and world number one. It doesn't get much better.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. And when we spoke to you in the build up to that event, we spoke about how you were battling with the dartitis that had crept into your game. How hard was it to control that, and at the same time trying to still compete with the world's best on the tour?
Yeah, it was hard, and eventually it kind of got to me. It kind of battling it so long. I mean, I know it looked a bit better at the end, but the placing of my fingers on the darts and just the edginess, and it eventually got the better of me. I mean, it's hard to recover from. I picked up some steady results in the midst of all that, but it never completely disappeared, and it affected my confidence, it affected my technique, and it's played its part on my shoulders. I've got a problem on my shoulder now, maybe from just lunging darts, repetitive strains, and it had lasting damage for me, and it's been nice just sort of having a break from the game, and reassessing, and I don't throw a lot of darts at the minute, so I'll have to maybe get back throwing and start enjoying it, and we'll see where we'll go from there.
Well, away from the hockey, you have forged a very successful career on the other side as a pundit and commentator in the last few years. When did you first get approached or get the idea to give that a go?
Well, I was asked when the BBC started doing the Championship League of Darts, they wanted new faces, so they went with me and Paul Nicholson, and then I enjoyed it. It was the most nerve-wracking thing ever at the start, and but from there I got a phone call off Sky. I think Wayne Mardle put my name forward, and then my boss Rory's given me many chances, and it's been good. I mean, it's going to be my fourth match play with Sky this year, so I think I've taken to it okay. But I enjoy it, I like it. I like the research side where you've got to find something different, something just interesting to talk about. But I work with a good team as well, and that helps. If you work with good people, you're going to do your job well, and I enjoy it. I never once go into work as a commentator thinking I don't want to do it today. I like the job, it's fun, and I'm lucky in that sense, blessed, and if you can't play, it's the next best thing. So I like watching, I like being involved in the sport, and still get to see some of my friends around on the circuit as well. So yeah, it's good. I've been lucky, but maybe an opportunity I created for myself, and hopefully I can keep going from strength to strength. You'd never stop learning in that side of work.
Yeah, it definitely comes through when we're watching, and fast forward to now, we've seen you on a lot of the darts coverage. You are one of the busiest people there is. The BBC, you mentioned there, Sky, ITV, the Pro Tour you've done recently as well. I personally nominated you as my commentator of the year for our 2020 awards. So how much have you enjoyed that role so far, and I guess really what have been the standout moments so far from being in the commentary box?
Yeah, I really like it. One of my standout moments it's got to be this week. That final night on the Premier League of the league, I thought was one of the best nights of darts action in the Premier League's ever had. I know you've had the 2-night darts, but just what was at stake, and then the finals, and then being involved in the World Final this past year again, when seeing Gerwyn Price lift the title, it was nice. But just to get involved in a game, and sometimes you can have a game that goes back at two big finish, but it's the close, nervy games that mean a lot. Particularly like the Grand Slam, the Premier League, when there's certain permutations. But no, I like it, and you learn the way players go and what they do, and I enjoy it. Might be something I can, if I do ever return to playing, I can, have a different approach, maybe picking up different ways, the way players go for finishes and stuff. But no, I couldn't really pinpoint a certain time, but no, it's really enjoyable, and I never sort of shun away from the challenge. I like the the Sky part where you work as a team, but then I did the Super Series where I was working on my own, and I enjoyed that. Work with different people. I enjoy it, and I like the challenges it brings.
You mentioned last week the Premier League. We've got to mention stepping into the commentary box to call a game at such short notice when Wayne Mardle lost his voice after Jose threw the 3 tops for the 120. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I was just sitting there, and obviously when you're not commentating, you watch the game because you might still around it, but the end's just taking out some key points, and then all of a sudden I just got the nod to go into comms. He'd silence Wayne Mardle, but I just raised myself down there. It was fine. I didn't have the notes and stuff on that game because I hadn't made notes, but I'd made notes on all the players, and I generally know a lot about the players anyway, so it was fine. I liked it, and like I said, it's just another challenge. I like what they chuck at me. I've had a few goes of being a lead commentator as well. I like that, and long may it continue. I like things being chucked at me, and it's a good way of learning.
Definitely. Well, you mentioned the World Matchplay. That is going to be the next big event for the PDC in around 6 or 7 weeks' time. We've still got 8 events before the cut-off. Jonny Clayton, he'll be there regardless, but as a seed or as a Pro Tour qualifier, that is the big question. Does part of you want to see him stay outside the top 16 so we could see him draw a Gerwyn Price or a Michael van Gerwen in round 1?
Yeah, and I think the top 16 want him to hop into the top 16, well, not the 16th spot, but in the top players like to see him hop in, but either way, if Jonny goes there seeded or not, he's going to be a problem, isn't he, for someone, and not got a great record there, but he hasn't won a game there, but I expect that to change. But it throws up some great draws, the World Matchplay. You've got seeds in there out of form, you've got Crosses, your Glenn Durrants, who players, who are outside, I think I fancy that, but then all of a sudden they'll return to form, so it can change. But I'm looking forward to the confirmed field. Lots of chopping and changing still to happen though late events. They'll go down to that last event and even go down to the last game of that event. You never know, but looking forward to the 8 Pro Tours, see what comes, and then obviously being back at the Winter Garden, it will be a massive incentive to get yourself qualified.
I know you touched on it a bit earlier about your future plans as a player. We saw you drop off the tour a couple of years ago. We've not seen you go to Q School yet. We saw a picture from you on Twitter in January with a picture, a set of windmill darts. You said you were enjoying throwing with them. So what is the next step for you in your playing career? Would you like to make a comeback?
I don't know. I mean, I was practicing hard at the beginning of the year with my new darts. I've had major issues with my shoulder. I've had an injection on it. I'm still having physio now. My shoulder's dropped over time, so I'm having treatment, and maybe because of that repetitive action and the obviously when I had dart I was lunging, or could have done all sorts to it. But at the minute, until my shoulder's back, how I feel confident, I could throw the odd game here and there, I'm sure. But I think to throw a lengthy season would take its toll, and at the minute you've got to want it, and at the minute I don't, so it is what it is, and I'll just bide my time. I don't see myself going back next year. You never know the year after, but at the minute I'm quite happy with what I'm doing, so I think that's the key. Happiness is key before anything, and that's the key for me in a minute. That's the decisive factor.
Definitely. Well, lastly, away from the darts, we know you're an avid football fan. We won't mention the Europa League final last week, but how about Wales? We know football's coming home this summer, but how well are Wales going to do in the Euros?
Do you want, they've got a hard group, but I'm convinced they can get through it. It's a tough group with Turkey, Switzerland and Italy, but just to have that taste last time in 2016 and to see him back there again, and obviously the manager's not going to be there, but it'll be good. I'm looking forward to seeing him play, and it's just, we're a good country that come together with things like that. We're a very passionate country, and I'm looking forward to just chilling out, a few beers with a few of my mates, and watching some of the games. And I think, regardless of what happens, like I said, they'll make a good account themselves. That they'll give it everything, and you never know. Who knows? They might repeat what happened last time. What a treat that was, and it just had the nation standing fantastic. And there'll be great memories of that, and pressure on the players because of that. But I think we're all realistic to know what Wales can achieve, and looking forward to seeing him play in a major tournament again. It's great because I never thought at one point I was going to see him in my lifetime, and I've seen it twice in 5 years now. I think I have to delay, but no good, and hopefully it can kick us on and getting a World Cup. That'll be the cherry on the ice on the cake. So I expect big things from the Welsh team. Well, big performances, how far they go, but they'll give it everything, and look forward to it. Good luck to Wales in the Euros. Keep up the great work that you're doing with the Sky team. We are really enjoying your coverage and what you bring to the game, and fingers crossed your shoulder gets better soon and we'll see you back playing as well, and it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Anytime.